I believe that when you are making something, of course you use your brain to think about it, but when your hands are working, they are now nourishing your brain with some feelings and some ideas that you would not even have thought before. And that's the thing about clay. In my family, there were quite a few people having interest in art. They were not artists, but my grandfather was doing sculpture. So art was not a wrong thing to do in the family. So that's how I sort of was into doing drawing and painting. And then I saw someone on the wheel. There was a young guy. He was on the wheel and he was throwing, and I looked at that and I thought, hell, that's just magical. As I said, it's a vast subject because I go in many directions. They're all linked together, but the proper reality of all of them is that I work with clay. People I admire the work for, when they ask me what you want to do, and I was telling them I want to build a big kiln, and what for? And I said I want to make big pieces, and the response was, but it's not possible. Pierre Culot, who I was working in Belgium, he said once, I don't know what you will do in the future, but it will be good. And if someone is telling you something like that, you know, you have the confidence to go on. So for this project, I came across this wonderful tool, and I thought, oh, I need to do something with it. I did propose to make a monumental piece and to fire it on site. You start building the piece, having in mind that in the process you have to fire the piece as well, and there's no kiln of that size anywhere to be found. So when I make my sculpture, I also think of how I'm going to fire the work and how the work will flow into it. So the shape is a flowing shape, and also the flame will flow into this flowing shape. It's going to rest on a far base made with refractory bricks. And this base has on both sides two far boxes that works just like burners. So the work is a sculpture, but it's a kiln itself as well. And the idea is from ashes embodied, the rebirth of the phoenix as its a legendary figure. Clay is working three-dimensional, and now we can say with fire you work four-dimensional. It's important that at times you lose control, and then suddenly you realize that as you're losing control, that's when things are happening. And that is the moment that you're really into it. Well, the moment the work comes out of the kiln, don't ask me questions, because that's the worst moment in my life. I hate it. I know, because as you go on, you're making, and you're into something, and you are into life, and you are into time, because clay is time. And suddenly this thing comes out of the kiln, and you believe that's the end. It's finished, and you can't do anything about it again. You have to understand that the work now has to live its own life. People will look, oh, that's big, how wonderful, that's big, but that's not enough. When you are facing a work of art, it's a total mystery, but some work of art are empty, and some others, you get attracted into it, and you can't explain why. And that's wonderful. And if you are lucky, there will be a last moment where this thing was moving away out of you. For instance, the day of the opening, there will certainly be a sort of little moment of pride and happiness, but the next minute you will look at it and say, no, that's not right, I must go back to the work, because it's an endless process, and that's really what I like in the making. Yeah.